And ladies and gentlemen, we are on lucky number 7, episode 7 of We Won't Let It Go to Waste. It is the podcast made, I cannot do anything right ever. It is the podcast made by Cosmic Kitten fans, for Cosmic Kitten fans, with Cosmic Kitten fans, watched by Cosmic Kitten fans, including, if you're good little boys and girls, Cosmic Kitten themselves. And speaking of Cosmic Kitten, we have with us today a very special guest, someone who has been within that dark cabal of evil and sin, of demonic entity unlike no other. One of the many bassists, former bassists of Cosmic Kitten himself, and also of Silent X. He is right here. Yes, it is. I'm pointing in the right direction, I promise you. Dylan Falcon. A round of applause for Dylan Falcon. You can even cheer for yourself if you so choose. Yeah, sure. That's totally fine. Welcome to the program, Dylan.
Great. Well, thank you. Yes, it's good to be here and be, talking to you and talking about Cosmic Kitten. It was a wild ride. You were there for all of it.
Yes, I was, a matter of fact. God damn, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It was
So
an amazing time to be had by all, and we're going to touch base on that a little bit, very, not briefly, but pretty soon. But for now, would you just, I assume you want to be called Dylan, because I've been calling you Dylan this whole time. But I like to make sure that everyone is referred to as they so choose.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I dig that. But yeah, no, it's just Dylan, Dylan Falcon. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Dylan Falcon. I'm from LA, as is, Cosmic Kitten.
Of course.
I think all the other bassists as well have been from LA, but
or neighboring counties or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely from LA, grew up here. Currently living in Pasadena. Pasadena.
Old Pasadena or New Pasadena? New Pasadena, right?
No, like Pasadena, like this. Yeah, this neighborhood I'm in is relatively old. It's gone through a lot of iterations as a neighborhood. But yeah, that's it's a fun neighborhood though. It's like the northern side of Pasadena. Yeah, like north of Old Town.
Oh, okay. So not too far from old Pasadena.
Exactly.
How's the weather there these days, Dylan?
It's surprisingly chilly. Granted, I say that as someone from Southern California, but it's like, let me just check the weather right now.
Sure.
Okay, it's saying like 55 degrees, which is with that Fahrenheit.
Wow, Fahrenheit. Would you like to know what it was this morning here, Dylan?
I don't know that I want to know, but what was it? Oh, Jesus.
That's Fahrenheit as well, for your consideration.
That is.
Welcome to hell! You thought it was cold, you thought it was hot, but no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a little bit much.
No, I know. That's my singer, my bassist in my new band are actually in Vancouver right now.
Oh, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah. They're like doing some, visiting with family or something like that.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah. Did you ever meet Kieran?
Is that the hockey player?
No, he was in Silent X. Yeah, he was in Sound X in like the early days, and then now he's the lead singer in Gasoline Lunchbox.
Gasoline, and that's the current band.
That's the current band, yeah.
That answers my next question of what you're doing right now.
It
So you're
answered part
currently
of
in.
that, yeah.
Well, yes. Well, what else are you doing? What else would you like to let the kids know?
Well, let's see. I mean, there's Gasoline Lunchbox. I'm playing with them. Been doing that for a
Bass,
little while now.
bass.
We're gonna be, no, actually, guitar. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, sick.
So, yeah. So, I mean, granted, the band I was playing with before I was also on guitar, but that's all right. It's guitar, bass are both fun.
Oh yeah, sure. I
Uh,
remember. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, sorry.
oh, no problem. Um, but yeah, so I'm playing with them. And since COVID, I've been actually working on writing and
Oh
like
shit.
doing screenwriting. Yeah,
Oh fuck. Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
There's a little bit of a different direction, but
Sure. Well,
you
why
know,
not?
yeah, why not?
Expand your damn
So
horizons.
exactly. So that's mainly what I've been doing the last little while. I'm developing a TV show. And we're now that the strike's over, we're shopping it around.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and
Did
then I'm writing a feature, and I'll shop that around once I'm finished with it, with this draft. And yeah, those are the main things I'm doing. I was like producing records and engineering and all that, which
yeah,
was
yeah.
fun. But it was it started to just get a little tough economically
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it, yeah, because it's just I had the skill to do it. I know how to make a record from beginning to end.
yeah.
And like there's another record that actually I worked on that came out I think in 2021 or 2022, one of those. That was like really cool record. It's from a band called Band on the Moon from Salt Lake City,
Oh wow. Okay. SLC.
SLC. So
Yeah.
I got to work on that record. It's like a studio assistant and like doing all the setups and whatnot. Um, and then, but it was just kind of starting to get tough because it was like I was trying to like partner with people to make studios and do all this, whatever. And but it's just like was always trying to find a new place and then find a new place and then find a new place, and it's like it's one of those things that's just kind of hard to do from home from your bedroom because
Yeah.
it's you have like preamps and mixing boards and then all this like equipment, and I've got like I think at this point I've got like four drum sets.
Oh
um
Jesus,
yeah, like piles of guitars, and like some of them are like really cool. So it's not like I want to just like get rid of all of them.
man. Yeah. No.
So
Well, of course not. You need a separate room for all that.
right, and so yeah, um I got to the point where it's just like a lot of stuff, and I was like um wanting to just I wanted to like get back to being creative and put expanding my horizons that way,
Yeah.
not just engineering.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense. It's like eventually you just get burned out. And you're like, you know what? Need another direction.
Yeah. So I think I hit that point, and I'm willing to like work on records if that happens, but it's like not not at the front of my side anymore. And
Sure.
I'm like working. I've got a place where my equipment's going, where I can do some tracking, and others can make use of my equipment and also do some tracking. uh, which is important to me. You know, it's like there's like the cool vintage equipment I have. I want it to get used. That's why I got it.
Well, for sure.
Like I want it to be making records, not just me making records with it.
That makes
So
perfect
I think,
sense.
yeah. So now I've got this arrangement where I think that'll actually happen, and it's
Nice.
like, yeah, and it's gonna be more of like a creative experience and more fun than like having to make sure the monthly nut is covered and the overheads and the flu and the budget and the deficit and business briefcase.
Business, briefcase. Yeah, no, I get how that can be overwhelming,
Yeah.
and this will
Yeah.
ideally kind of alleviate that overwhelmingness, if that is indeed
Yeah.
a real word.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can focus on like I could do the work that is that I'm liking doing and that is paying my bills.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's important.
and have time to spend with my girlfriend and work on myself and work on my cat. You
Yes,
know.
cat.
uh So yeah, so that's the basic gist of what I've been working on. Um,
Damn, you got a lot on
so
your plate, man.
yeah,
You've got the starter. You've got the main. You've got the dessert. You've got the aperitif.
yes,
You got, so
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna be sending we're gonna be getting you to send some links so then everyone can check out the new band you're in, your own page, and all the other projects that you'll be working on so that people can keep posted on everything Dylan Falcon. Um,
Yeah,
the
sweet.
next sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, sweet. Yeah, I'll send. We'll send the link. I guess we'll do that in post or whatever.
Yep, for sure.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
the next question is a little funny considering it's you, but hey Dylan, have you ever worked with or alongside Cosmic Kitten before?
you know, funny story.
Oh,
Yes,
word? Oh
yes.
shit!
That's
All right.
yeah. It's it's funny that you asked because
Yeah. Oh, one time.
one time I did a show with them.
Mm.
Oh, actually, here, let me tell you about like, I want to tell you the first time I played a show with Cosmic Kitten
Okay.
as a member of Cosmic Kitten.
Right.
Um, I don't know if we're doing, I could tell you a little bit more about like when I first met them or all that, but we can go into that later if you want.
That's what we're about to do. The next question was, when did you first meet them?
Okay, cool. We'll start there. It kind of go in chronological sequence then.
Sure.
So I first met, like, I was in 2016, Silent X. Um, we were playing a bunch of shows and um, doing a bunch of stuff, and we would get messages all the time from other bands and whoever being like, "Oh, can you play this show? Can you play that show? Whatever." All these shows,
Yeah.
and like a lot of people were trying to get us on shows. Um, and it was going well, but we we had all that going on, and one of these people was this band called Cosmic Kitten, and I was messaging with them because I was like the main one that would message with people on the band Instagram account at the time.
Right. Right.
Uh, and so I was messaging with them, and they're like, "Oh, can you play this show? Can you play that show? I want to set up a show at Meow Meows." And I don't. Did you ever go to Meow Meows?
I never went to Meow Meows. I have heard of it, but that's all.
Okay, it's actually it's a really cool spot because it's like it's still there, I think.
Yeah.
But it was just like a little punk thrift shop, like a consignment shop.
Mm-hmm.
And and actually I should probably go there and just do some clothes shopping.
Shit.
But why not? So, um, I and we were that was kind of our like our hometown venue for a bit. But this they had it was a punk thrift shop, and then they had this stage in the back where they would throw shows. And not very many people could fit in there. But,
Mm.
we still tried. It's just it's one of those spots that was easy to pack out.
Mm.
Cause it was just pretty small. But it made it fun and intimate.
Yeah. Sometimes that's pretty
So
chill.
yeah. So we were getting messages from this, strange band that we'd never met before called Cosmic Kitten.
Mm.
I don't even know how we connected on Instagram. I think it was just like someone probably found the grunge hashtag or something.
Yeah. Very,
Like
very
grunge hashtag, hashtag Los Angeles, whatever. And so, um, yeah, and I would actually be curious to know how Karen found us, but because it was Karen on the other side of that, I think. Either Karen or Zach. But
Kevin or Zach.
um so yeah, we were messaging with them and they're like, "Oh, can you play this show? Can you play that show?" And we're like, "Oh, whatever." Um we had a lot going on and then we went to Arizona, played a show with Unwritten Law. Um and then came back and then some drama happened. We lost a bassist. And that probably sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Then we yeah, then we did some more shows with a new bassist. Then we lost the drummer, and then we got a new drummer. There's I'm skipping over a lot of stuff,
Oh boy.
and there's just a lot of like pretty heavy stuff going on in the band at the time. And so um so we were working through all this and working through all this, and then um we were getting like we'd taken I think a month or two off from playing shows to deal with all this stuff and to like kind of reevaluate what we wanted to do as a band.
Mm.
Uh, and so so we were figuring that out, and at the same time I was also working in music journalism, which was fun. Um, yeah, and I almost got to meet Jello Biafra from that, but then I didn't.
That's still pretty
Because
dope.
yeah, but uh, like I was in Vegas for like to cover the show and um to cover this band that was touring there, and then I had the choice of either joining them to go to San Francisco to meet like Jello Biafra, who they were gonna hang out with after their set there,
Ah.
or come back to play a Meow Meow show that we had
Ah.
set up. And I was like, okay, well, I've got to just do the thing that's scheduled. I was like, okay, it's fine. Maybe I'll meet him some other day.
Sure, sure.
So got in the car, drove all the way back to from Vegas to LA. Came in, I think, at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Show started at like 6 or something. Just came straight to the show.
Mm.
Um, and then came, set up, and then we were playing with this band that I'd messaged with before called Cosmic Kitten.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you
Interesting.
see this isn't like aimless rambling. It does actually connect.
Sure, sure. No, no, for sure.
But I was saying that a little bit for myself because it did sound a little rambly.
No,
Uh,
no, it's okay. The floor is yours.
uh,
The floor is yours.
oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll take the whole damn floor then. So, I was there, and there's this band. Like, there were a few bands on the bill that night. I don't remember. Oh, actually, I might be able to go and find a picture and piece together who the other bands were, but
Sure.
for sure, the only one I remember that for sure played that night was Cosmic Kitten. And um, so we went, and I was standing there with my bassist at the time, a guy named Mark, um, who also at one point filled in for Cosmic Kitten.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck, Mark.
Marky Marxist.
Yes, but I thought
Yeah,
I had remembered them as having a different last name, having a specific last name. But Marky
yeah,
Marxist, yes, yes, Marky
yeah,
Marxist.
Mark McIntosh.
There we go.
Yeah, so I don't know if he still goes by Marxist. But yeah, so we were there, like watching the getting ready to watch this band go on. We like to like watch a lot of bands we played with, just you know, to get in the community and just see what was happening in the music world,
Sure.
because that's why we were doing it. Some people kind of just go up there, play their set, like and then bounce afterwards, or like go hang out in green room the whole
Yeah.
time, or whatever. It's different people kind of have a different approach to human interaction, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but Mark and I were very you know interested in the people around us, and so yeah, and so we were like, let's see what this band is. And with some of these bands, you kind of like sometimes they were good, sometimes not so good, and you just we're gonna get whatever you got. So we were there, and we're like, okay, and that's we're just watching and like saying, oh, okay, this is gonna be like like which I'm not sure like what we were expecting, but we saw um like Zach and Yusuf, the original bassist,
Yep.
with kind of like long metally hair.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like they were for sure. You look at them, you're like, they for sure listen to metal, and
Not wrong.
not wrong. And then Karen, who like looks a little like kind of folksy, or that's just like at the time they wore a lot of like kind of long, uh, kind of long gowns, and you can find some pictures back then, but it's like very interesting stuff and kind of pastel colors and
Yeah.
very vintage. I want to say maybe like 50s or something, but it was like not it was for sure not like the contemporary style. Like they had a style of their own.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and we're like, huh, okay, wonder where this is gonna go. Um, and so we're watching, and then I think it was oh, I'm trying to remember what they started with. They might have started with Ode to Philip's Demise off of Be Nice to Strangers, which at that time wasn't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a few months before that came out. 'Cause
Oh
this is
fuck.
in 2017,
Yeah.
like February 2017. That didn't come out until May.
Yeah.
And so,
Fuck.
um, yeah, it's like pretty early on. Like they had Apollo out on Bandcamp or something,
Yeah.
which ironically now is the only album not out on like Spotify and Apple Music.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that
It lives only on Bandcamp now.
yeah. Well, I've got it on CD,
Oh,
so
oh,
there's at least
I do too, of course.
yeah.
Kidding me? Like, of course I
I think I've got like two copies of it,
do. Shit. Keep
just
them
for extra.
because that's ancient ancient civilizations, last remnants of an ancient civilization.
Oh no, I know. It's interesting stuff, like just that it's like not available. It's like yeah, I've talked to Zach about it before about why it's not available, and I don't remember the full story. So
I think they kind of consider that like kind of like more of like their introductory bit, and then as they kind of got the hang of things, they're like, okay, what we're doing on Be Nice to Strangers is kind of like the direction we want to go moving forward.
yeah, I think you're right. So
Because there was not
yeah,
really anything very loud at all on Apollo. It was pretty chill. I still like it.
yeah,
I still like it a lot. It's just not very like heavy. That's all.
yeah. No, that's true, and that's like the thing. Like I think I'd listened to one or two songs off of Apollo, and they were like kind of random songs, like maybe tracks like two or three or something.
Yeah.
And so I'd only gotten that like softness, and I was like, okay, probably like kind of folksy, you know, like indie type, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, okay, cool. This will be cool. Um, it was much cooler than I thought it was gonna be.
Mm.
Uh, and
Well,
that
I'm
that
glad
was
they exceeded your expectations.
me too.
Mhm.
So Mark and I were like, okay, it's kind of folksy, whatever.
Yeah.
So we went and they were like, Ode to Philip's Demise. And I think that's the song. And it was like, and then they went into My Shoes. They're like, do 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 do. Uh, do 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 do. And we're just like, oh fuck!
Yeah. They tricked you.
They
Found
tricked
the
us.
oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, and we were just like, whoa. And then they're like, I think they did Weather. No. I think Weather was the last song they
Hmm.
did. And they did another Apollo song, and I think, and then they did Harry Ape. And we are
Oh
just like,
fuck. Yeah.
and just like, it just
Trick
kept going and kept going and kept going.
tricked you
And we're just
again.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, this is like, we were like fucking blown away. This is like what we'd been looking for. Because if you also listen to Silent X, it's we were very into playing with the dynamics of stuff and just really like finding like we were really trying to like get to the heart of something to make something new. Like it was kind of like an awkward middle ground between like grunge and punk and alt rock and whatever. It's kind of in the same way that it was for Cosmic Kitten, you know? Because it's like,
Yeah.
so that's, and we kept running into things like, there's like really, really heavy shit that's just like, and it's just like, you know, we're like, it's not quite what we're doing. You
Sure.
know, at the end of the day, we were all like punk rock guys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or there's like really soft stuff that and like with people who are all afraid of distortion pedals, you know.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so like yeah, and it was like yeah, so we were kind of like had trouble finding that middle ground, and we found some bands that were fitting into that. The more shows we played, the more we found bands that were kind of close to us. Um and And so we got like a little bit more. We got when we saw Cosmic Kitten, we're like, yes, like this is this is exactly what we're talking about, you know. This is the fucking vibe, and we were stoked. So um, so yeah, that's
Jackpot.
like yeah, we'd hit it, and so um, so yeah, that's like the that's like the thing that we were just like super stoked about. We're like, wow, we'd like finally found a band that makes sense. You know, that's the
I can
best
see how
way.
that could be pretty hard.
Yeah, like it's low. It's kind of like something that supersedes logic. You know, it makes sense beyond anything physical or natural.
It's
It's
kismet.
just like ah,
It's kismet, damn it, kismet.
e- exactly. It's kismet. So yeah, that's what we were excited about. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep playing shows with these guys.
Fuck yeah.
And so we did. We played quite a bit of shows with them.
Hmm.
Um, and then so that was the first time seeing Cosmic Kitten.
Right.
And so um, we played shows with them. Um, and yeah, we did like stuff at Meow Meows. We played at the Redwood with them. We played what's up at the Epic Lounge in Downey.
Mm.
Uh,
I've never been to
and
that one, but I know you guys played there
oh
several
yeah,
years ago.
we played there a bunch of times. We also played there for the Yellow Button music video release show.
Fuck.
Yeah,
We're
and
gonna put a pin on that yellow button
okay,
talk because we're gonna be touching base a little bit on that. But that's pretty rad. I didn't know that, or I did know that, and it's been a million years, and I have the memory of an old man. But I mean, not that I was there, so easy thing to forget. But that sounds about right.
yeah. So okay, cool. I'm just making a quick note of it so that we can come back to it. And okay, cool. So oh, cool, noted. Um, so we pretty much literally put a pin in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um.
So
So go ahead.
oh, so that was we played with them. That was 2017. We kept playing with them in 2017, and then Salenex ran into another rough patch. That's it's just kind of that's the name of the game. Sometimes being in a band is like that. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
know.
I feel like it doesn't have to be, but you know, it's just you're dealing with people, and each person is a different person with different things going on, and you know,
Yeah, it's kind of like being at work, you know, and it's like you can rely on
yeah.
yourself to get there, but maybe your other coworkers like, I'm hungover, I'm not coming in, or blah blah. You're like, oh fuck, dude, come on.
Right, right. So yeah, things like that are like, everyone's got a slightly different idea of how things are done or slightly different ideologies of, what is right and what is wrong and,
Yeah,
you know, what or what it takes to get done what you're trying to get done or even what you're trying to get done,
yep.
you know?
Unfortunately, that's what it is. That's why it's almost better to just have like two or three piece band because then there's like fewer conflictions theoretically. I would say.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. Like yeah, that's I agree with that. Like the less moving parts, my mom has this saying about like the more moving parts a machine has, the more likely it is to break.
Yep.
So, so yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. I never knew how those giant ska bands, like those 16-piece ska bands, like don't like fist fight every night. But
I yeah, I don't know either. It's like it looks just wild. That's we played with one of those types of ska bands in Portland actually.
of course,
Um, and it's it kind of I think the way it worked for that particular band is it's just kind of like a party on stage, you know?
So
And
in other
like
words, they're going with the flow. They're not going to really worry if something gets fucked up because they're just having a good time.
exactly, yeah. There's not like so much pressure on like artistic integrity or artistic presentation or again, ideology and dogma.
Yep.
Like there's a lot less pressure on that, and it's just the philosophy of what you're doing is having fun with the homies essentially,
Yeah.
and so it works. Um, with like something, with like stuff stuff like Cosmic Kitten or Sound X, um, a lot of the subject matter is seemingly fun, but sometimes there's a lot of times there's just layers of things underneath it, and
Absolutely.
whoever is the one writing the lyrics is dealing with some amount of stuff, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and that was like that's what was happening in Sound Lex. So we hit that rough patch, and there was a lot of rearrangement and whatnot, and basically the original bassist ended up coming back to replace the original lead singer, but then the current bassist left, and then we got a totally brand new bassist, and then that lineup of Silent X is what was Silent X was all the way up until um, we stopped playing shows.
That was 2020, wasn't it? Or
It was, unfortunately.
yeah, I was looking because I was like, am I missing out on something? And I kind of looked and I'm like, oh fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
that
man.
was yeah. We um we were um doing well at the time. We just like we went on tour in Australia,
Oh
but
yeah,
we went
fun.
on yeah. It was awesome. I loved it. Got to meet like a lot of really cool people. We played some really great shows. Um, and like the the fans out there and the crowds out there were great, and um, it was an amazing experience. It's um, even now if like someone's like, oh, can you go on tour? I'd be like, let me think about how to say yes. you
Mm. Oh yeah, no, for
know?
sure. I mean, that sounds. I mean, why not? Like, especially if you're going to like a completely different continent.
Yeah, and
That's just
that's
not.
like,
That's just not going to like Hemet. That's not just going to like
yeah,
Canada. That's like
yeah,
going to another world.
totally, yeah. And so it's like, um, yeah, and it's fun. We I got to see how like actually touring cross continents works
Mm.
and what you do, and like we I got to like I saw obviously the whole economics of how it worked because we went over like the budgets and all that stuff, like all that was like real stuff that we worked out, and
Oh,
you
you have
know
to. There's no
you
choice.
have to, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't doing that stuff. There's some business that comes to any actual business.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Of course.
music business, movie business, arts business, whatever. They're all businesses.
Yeah.
Um, it's the key difference between them is what you're making.
Yeah.
And, if you're making the thing you want to make, that's the important thing.
Yes.
And then, everything else is just the obligatory, you know, business, briefcase, briefcase,
Yep. Yep. Business. Business. Briefcase.
briefcase.
Briefcase. Um. So, I was going to. The next question was going to be what you kind of already answered it, but it was mostly to do with what your first impressions were with Cosmic Kitten. But we have a special guest on the program that I think could probably answer this question
Oh,
just as good as you, Dylan Falcon.
Oh,
I'm going to put this on now. With your permission, I'm going to just play a little quick video here, and we can talk about this real quick. Um,
okay.
I'm Dylan Falcon from Silent X, and Cosmic Kitten, they're fucking awesome. That's the first time I saw them. It's like a magical moment. Like it's one of those
You
moments
know,
when you go to a random local show and you see a band and you know that's the band you went there to see tonight, even if you didn't know they were the band you were there to see that night.
can you? Are you surprised that the answer you gave was effectively what you said many years ago? Isn't that
you
wild?
know, I would say yeah, except I couldn't hear anything at all that I was saying.
Oh
Like it
well,
was just
fuck.
cutting out.
Really? It was cutting off. It probably
Yeah.
would. Damn. But you know that.
Hmm.
Hopefully the people at home heard it. Maybe after this is done, I'll take a look and see how much I fudged that up. But we'll figure that out in post. Figure that out in post. Hopefully. But you remember this? It was the My Shoes, the Rise of Cosmic Kitten. And you were one of the, and that was you're talking basically. You were talking about Cosmic Kitten a bunch of years ago, and said they were the band that you maybe not that you may not have necessarily went to go see, but it's the band that you went to go see. I butchered that. You said it a way better, but the point is that in essence, what you were saying about your kind of like your first experience with them is kind of reflected back many years prior. I wish that there was sound there. Wish there was sound there, Dylan. But
Me too.
we always do some little lipsy daisies. Ah, who's this? Say
Oh, this
hello.
is Mila. Hi, Mila.
Hi, Mila.
Oh,
They're
did you
like,
hear her?
oh, fuck.
Oh, wait. She's growling.
Oh no.
Oh, she stopped growling.
Oh, okay. Oh, slightly,
Oh,
only
did you
slightly
hear
angry.
that?
I didn't.
It's okay. So she's all right. She's gotten over it. Oh,
Oh,
kind of.
oh, damn. You know
Okay,
what I don't
that's all
like?
right.
You know what I don't like having cameras shoved in my face.
Oh,
Oh,
but yeah, I do actually remember that. I think that was actually filmed at Meow Meows.
I'm like 99.999% sure that's exactly it. That's why I was starting to remember. Like, wait a minute. Wasn't that fucking video?
Yeah, but
Or
I think that video was shot, I want to say in May of 2017 at a different Meow Meow show.
Yeah. I can't say based on this because it says 2024 and I think this is just a re-upload. So
Oh, okay.
I was like cuz I was like looking at 3 years ago. The hell it was 3 years ago when that
No
video
fucking
came
way.
out. No, no. But yeah. I remember that distinctly. That was the very first time we were ever I was ever introduced to the being known as Dylan Falcon.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's it is funny. I also feel like I haven't aged at all since that video.
No, you have very, very good genes, Dylan. You should be very well. I guess technically you can't take any credit, but your parents can take some credit. I mean, no, I guess you can
Yeah.
take credit. You can take credit as well because you don't do like no hard work, no hard drugs, no um, no bathing in grime, no hot boxing every single day, and
Yeah.
no like turning your skin leather, no going to the getting your inorganic suntans. I mean, not that you
That's
should be
yeah.
doing that in California. That's insane. Because
Right.
so.
But yeah. No, that's true. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore.
Oh, good
Yeah.
job. Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Very good.
Yeah, I'm
Very
like
good.
full straight edge now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna claim it, but you
Sure,
know,
sure. Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, I'm just fully like clean, sober, living life.
Congratulations. Damn.
Yeah,
We need you. We
thank
need
you.
you here for a long time. God damn it. Um,
Yeah.
so you answered a bunch of these questions already. So we're gonna just jump up to what would your favorite Cosmic Kitten show be? This could be one that you were a spectator at, that you performed at, or maybe something you saw online.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Um, um,
I mean, Meow Meows would be one good example because that'd be where it all began. And but there might
that,
be something amazing. Maybe I mean I would say one good example, one really interesting one that involves you would be at Cosmic Carnival 2 when
yeah.
with less than 24 hours notice, you Cosmic Kitten needed a bassist. Shot in the dark. Roll percentile dice. Get 01. Dylan, can you bass for us one night only? Shot in the dark. Dylan says yes. They work on it throughout the night, wasn't it? Didn't you work? Didn't you guys like work on it till like 2 or 3 in the morning, or am I tripping? Or was like, or
Um,
I just, or am I like fucked in the head for even suggesting that?
I'm no, I'm trying to think. It was definitely like I just checked my phone. I was like, oh, Zach called. I should probably call him back. And he's like, hey, this is the most random thing. Um, can you play a show tomorrow? I haven't played with Cosmic Kitten in like 3 years.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? Yes. Yes, I can. And it was oh, I think I was also like had to work some job in between that stuff and was like the schedule my schedule was like, the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
That
Oh boy.
that that that's like what it was like. I was like, well, if I do this, I'll eat this. If I eat that, I will eat that. And it was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna make it all work. And we made it work.
Absolutely. It was like as if no time had passed. Dylan
Yeah.
literally bled for
It-
that charitable event, ladies and gentlemen. Literally
oh,
blood. Blood.
that's right. I bled all over the bass strings, and I think I didn't clean it for a while.
No, I don't think so. I think I remember that. You're like, oh, I think I remember a post going, I should probably get around to cleaning these inside. Just like blood splatter. It was very metal, Dylan. Very metal.
There was.
Very metal as fuck. But that would be one of my noteworthy ones because it also involves you. But maybe
Yeah.
you've had some memory jogged. I don't know. What would you say?
Well, yeah, that one was great. I will tell you about the very first time I played with Cosmic Kitten.
Okay. Now we're talking. Now
And
we're talking.
unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the venue, and I feel bad. It was
Seriously.
Bandito's Beat House or Bandito's something. Bandito's Music Emporium. It was in Santa Anita
Was it in? Oh,
or
Not in Ottawa.
not not
Oh
in
wait.
Ottawa.
Oh wait. That's Ontario. Is it? Never mind.
Yeah, here, let me maybe I can actually find it. It's in Santa, one of the Santas down here, like
Oh, is it
Santa Anita.
Bandito Taqueria?
Nope.
Oh, that's in Santa Ana. That's why I was hoping.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is Santa Ana. I think it is Santa Ana that I was in. It's like in OC area,
Mm.
like in the downtown area. That is fine. It's Bandito something. Um, Bandito's beatbox. Bandito's blah blah.
Oh, I was kind of looking through just your page to
Uh,
see. Oh, but I did find something real quick. I'm pretty sure this is the show, and wow, that's washed out the fuck.
Oh yeah.
Let's try it now. This one is probably that show in the documentary. I'm guessing because I know that the disinfectants were there because Ray Kate was talking before you.
Yeah,
I
I I think you're right that that's the show I was interviewed at. And that was in May, right?
this what the fuck? This was you posted it near the end of May. Oh, May 27th. Sorry, yeah, May 27th,
Okay, cool.
2017. That doesn't
2017. Wow.
well that doesn't answer the question of banditos. Wouldn't it be funny if it just didn't have banditos in its name at all? I do that all the time. I'm like, is this person's name Joe? Joe? Is it Joe? Joe? Jack? And then it's like Daryl, and I'm like, fuck.
You know, honestly, I feel like that could happen.
That's the Doll Hut in Anaheim. Alex's Bar.
I'm on the Cosmic Kitten Instagram page to see if.
Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
You know what?
Oh.
If they tagged you in a post, you might be able to just go to your tagged. Oh, why didn't I think of that?
Isn't that what you were doing?
No, I was just straight up on your just regular, but I'm on your tagged.
Oh, I didn't find anything on the tagged.
Heck. Consarnic. Did find a bunch of pictures that I took of you guys, and we ate at In-N-Out after some show.
Yes.
2018. There's a little something for you. Blast from the past. A Dylan,
Oh,
Zach,
yeah.
and a Karen. The whole shebang. Outside, In-N-Out. I think they were just closing. This was like March 22nd, 2018.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there, though, is it? Gosh. Let's for the sake of our editor, just continue, and then we'll loop back to the name if we can come across it. So.
Okay, cool.
So the venue. Sorry. Tell us about the show. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll back it up a little bit to give you some context.
Okay.
At the same time, you remember Silent X was having all the stability issues, which eventually leveled out, and we got the definitive Silent X lineup, which was basically the most like well-known and productive, I guess we'll say, Silent X arrangement.
Right.
And that happened in like August of 2018, and around that same time, I think in July, Yusuf, the original bassist, parted ways with the band, with Cosmic Kitten. And so 2018, yeah. Oh, so sorry. No. You're right. It's 2017 that happened.
I was tripping because when I first visited them, it was 2018, and already Yosef was gone. So
yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, you're totally right. So 2017, I think July of 2017, which is around when we were also, the timing was about the same with our stuff as well. They had the issues with Yusuf, but they had some shows scheduled. And now didn't have a bassist, so Mark went and filled in maybe for just one show. I think it was just the one show.
Yeah,
but
it was not too many. If it was any more, it was not too many more.
Yeah, and they went like he went and played with them at some house show in Woodland Hills, and um, and it was interesting seeing that because it was interesting that seeing that what I saw was that a different basis, like Cosmic Kitten was Karen and Zach together, um, and like that was kind of the definitive part of Cosmic Kitten, but the right bassist, a good bassist, could bring so much to it, and I saw that with Mark because he was a good bassist. And that's like Yusuf also brought goodness too. Like he wasn't a total slack, um, but he was more on the metal side of things.
Yes, yes. And I
And
think that caused maybe some conflict as well, honestly.
it did, it did, and that's
But
it's fine.
yeah, yeah. Oh no, of course.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we were talking about before. It's bound to happen.
yeah, exactly. So, but then Mark, who is a very punk rock guy, or punk rock and post punk, and you know,
Yeah.
like like that was very much his thing. Um, and then um, so I got to see like the kind of room for versatility there was for Cosmic Kitten. And then after that, because of like what we were talking about earlier, the more part moving parts of a machine theorem.
Yeah.
Uh, because of that, Karen and Zach just played as a two piece for several months,
Yeah. Yeah.
from like I think July or August all the way up to um, I think up to February at this point. It'd been like 6 months, and there was kind of like some talk in town, me and my friends were like, "Oh, Cosmic Kitten, they're playing as a two piece," and some people are like, "Oh, it's I almost like them better as a two piece,"
Hmm.
and yeah, it's and so it's like, yeah, it's interesting. I preferred bass because I like how bass works. Like I just like bass integrated with guitar and drums and the whole spectrum of things together,
Hmm.
working together. Which is also like how I play in bands. I don't just play the fun things. I play the things that makes the better experience for the audience, or that says more clearly what needs to be said to um, to the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that could be fun
Uh,
too. I mean, maybe the instrument isn't fun, but the intention and the outcome is fun.
exactly, and that's what I go for. You know, and so um, I think I was talking about I'm talking about the seeing the different possibilities with Cosmic Kitten. Oh, and I was like, I feel like they like need a bassist. Just I feel like that, and like I feel like it makes sense, like someone to bridge between Karen and Zach, and so that Zach has room to breathe and Karen has room to breathe. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of that's kind of the role of the bassist in Cosmic Kitten, is to be there enough that Karen and Zach have room to breathe. So, um, and that was kind of my goal any show I played with them.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's went one time and saw them on Norwalk. Norwalk, yeah, some house
Hmm.
show in Norwalk. There was a lot of house shows back in the day.
Yo, I
So,
bet.
yeah.
Hmm.
And so Norwalk went to this house show and watching Cosmic Kitten, and I'd been keeping up with them, and um staying in touch with them, and I think Zach had done some mixing for me, and um, I'd uh, I'd been just hanging out with them, and anytime I was in their area, like the Downey area, I'd invite them to things, and anytime I went to like OC, I'd invite them to things, and um, just wanted to like stay in touch with them and hang out with them, and let them know, that they were in my world. Um,
That's awesome.
so yeah, so one of these times I saw them, and like I'd offered before to them, like, oh, if you need a fill and bassist, you know, whatever, and like, yeah, we're just doing a two-piece. Like, okay, cool, whatever.
Mm.
Like, they're still a good band. They're put on a good show. They're having fun.
Hmm.
Um, and then one day I went and saw them. It was February, Norwalk, California. It's like, yeah, if that offer still stands if you want to fill in bassist. And Zach's like, yes. And I was like, oh.
Fuck.
I wasn't
Okay.
actually totally, yeah, I was like, I wasn't totally ready for a yes, but I guess the
Nice.
lesson there is like, that's that saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a good example. Um,
Shot your shot.
and I shot my shot a few times.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't like it wasn't. I said it the first time, and he's like, yeah, totally.
Hmm.
Uh, so so it's like because I was also a Cosmic Kitten fan, you
Hmm.
know. At then did like at the beginning of the day, I guess better to say. At the beginning of the day, I was a Cosmic Kitten fan, and at the end of the day, I was still a Cosmic Kitten fan. Um, so but so Zach was like, yes. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, I think this was like a Saturday night or Sunday night. This show was. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So we got a show we're doing. I think it was Saturday that like the show happened. And Zach was like, yes. I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, yeah, we got a show next Sunday, so like in a week from tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, you just have to learn like 10 songs. I was like, okay, well, at this point, Mark and I had already learned Harry 8 for fun.
Mm. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay. So now it's
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, so now it's 9, and obviously Harry 8 was going to be part of the set.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Back then, no. No way.
Yeah,
Not going to
e-
be.
exactly. I think even nowadays it's still
Yeah.
part
To
of the
this
set.
day. To this day, I don't think they. I could be wrong. Maybe if they. I think they even did it acoustically. I don't.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah.
I don't know if they did it acoustically this last time they had an acoustic set with like that. Was it Downey Unplugged or LA Unplugged? Sorry, LA Unplugged.
Okay.
I think they might have done it there, but I know I was at a show where it was just them, the two of them at this time, and
Yeah.
where the fuck was it? It's a place that's gone now, but I can't remember. It was like a beer place. It was what the
Yes.
fuck?
Was
What am I
that the
saying?
birthday one?
Yes, the fucking Brew Rebellion. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I still have that bottle.
Fuck yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that okay, there's a story there too. We should put a pin in that one. It
Okay.
gets a little bit darker, but let's
Oh
come
shit.
back to that one.
Sure.
And I should make note because that happened on mine and Karen's birthday. Also, Karen and I share the same birthday.
That's right. And they had that
Yeah.
nice that cake there. I
Yes,
remember.
which I didn't get to have any of, unfortunately, and I'll tell you this a little bit more about
Oh fuck.
all that. Yeah, but yes, okay. Brew Rebellion birthday show. So yeah, because I was for sure supposed to be at that show. Just
Yeah.
plans changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm my
So
brain has put the pieces together again.
yeah, so we'll go back. We'll go more into that, but
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna actually
oh,
probably get into that and some other Dylan centric stuff. Actually, really soon.
okay, cool.
You were saying. Sorry. Go ahead.
So so Zach was like, yeah, 10 songs that I'd learned Harry Ape. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'll work on it. And then Zach also was like, okay, I'm gonna also like work with you on it instead of just me learning it by ear or whatever, which usually is actually easier. Particularly with things with like distortion where there's a lot of crazy harmonics going on, or for like weird chords that are not power chords, or which Cosmic Kitten does do a lot, like in Fever, Fever on the Screen. Coming up with a bass line for that was so difficult. I'll tell you, yeah, I can tell you more about that later because it was just
Sure,
like,
sure.
yeah, but
Oh, for sure.
so I'll finish this story. But we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
we were going there, and um, we were Zach's like, yeah, yeah, you'll come over to this place, like come over to his house, where he's living at the time,
Mm.
um, and uh, he was like, okay, yeah, do this like that, and I did as much as I could by ear and just tried figuring things out. Um, and I went, met up with him, I think on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. He's like, oh, yeah, no, that's close, but totally wrong. And have to like show me the riff again.
Shit. All right.
And then there was like one in particular, like I think it was Weather, where Weather was in the bass part. You have to be in drop D to play. Um, but the guitar is in standard or like capoed or something because it's just a weird like he uses uh, a lower note on like just I think it's a D sharp that's a very prominent in the song. Um, and it's just right below E. You just can't get it in standard. Yeah, and
Tricky.
so tricky indeed. And so every like when I first he told me that, and did, I was like, I feel like I can do it in standard because it's like the song. It's not like some crazy heavy song. It's just like um, it's it's just the choruses were like had the heavier parts, right? Um, and so I came up with this riff. I was like, oh, okay. I showed him the riff. He's like, actually, that's pretty cool. That's probably what we should have done, but that's not what we do.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, fine. And so I learned the way it actually went, and I was like, okay, cool. That's actually cool too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And um, so I think, in all honesty, the way it was recorded was actually a cooler riff than what I came up with. So I went with that. And so I had that, and then there's some other stuff that like some of the timing was, I had to work out, and then there was a lot of like chromatic shifts, like step by step notes up and down, and like my shoes, do 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 do. Those were just very specific notes that didn't like fit in traditional like minor scales or major scales or whatever. Um, and which is another thing with Cosmic Kitten is they really play with notes. Like it's not like if they're playing a song that's in a minor scale, but they're playing a chord, they're probably gonna do like a major chord, but still be in the scale, which is also something we did in Silent X a lot too. It gave it a little bit of levity while keeping the undertone dark. Um, and it's something that like trying to think what big big bands do that because I don't know who I picked that up from because I think it's like a big punk thing. That's what it is. I think it's like a 70s punk thing. A lot of those guys like um I'm trying to think. Um, maybe like Sex Pistols and like Clash, like those types of those type of punk. But I think also a lot of like the maybe like Mission to Burma and those types of guys also do that. Um, but um, but anyways, oh, and like Minor Threat, I think did that a lot too. But so um, but yeah, there's a lot of like tricky little things and like they do uh shifts like walks up and down in notes that are just a little unusual and that you might not have noticed if you weren't specifically looking for it, but it's still very much a part of the song, which makes it unique. And so Zach worked out a lot of that stuff with me and was being very like, I'll do this and this like that and blah blah blah, which again kind of came back to me figuring out pretty quickly the purpose of the bassist in Cosmic Kitten is to be there solid enough for Zach and Karen to have room to breathe
Right.
while still being connected. And that was kind of within that first week what I figured out. And so I was practicing it and practicing, and then Zach was like, "Oh, we're doing an acoustic set on Saturday." I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Actually, we don't want to do an acoustic set. We want it to just be the full band. So I guess be ready by Saturday."
Fuck!
Yeah,
Threw you into the deep end.
yeah. And so I just went into it, and that was at Bandito's Beat House. I think that might be what it was. Beat House. Oh no, I should probably just text Zach and
Yeah.
ask him. You want me to do that real fast?
Sure, why not? I'm gonna see if I can hunt down the word beat house. I was hoping to do
Yeah,
Cosmic Kitten beat house, maybe, but that ain't
maybe.
gonna. If I knew like the city, if you say like a Santa
I think it was Santa Ana.
Ana beat house, Santa Ana. God.
Okay, well, we'll see what he says, but yeah, so that was my first show with them, and um, it was interesting because it was like we just flowed so smoothly straight from there, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna like flow that well without any sort of heads up or anything.
Hmm.
Beatnik Bandito,
Oh, Beatnik Bandito. I see. There
and it
we
looks like
go.
they might, and I think they're closed. Like Zach thinks they're closed, so I think
Shit.
that's what's happening.
That would
Ben,
certainly.
oh, I was right, but in weird orders. Beatnik
Oh.
Bandito's Music Emporium.
Oh yeah, it says it's temporarily closed. I'm guessing they're renovating or something.
Oh,
I reckon.
I guess so.
The last time they posted on Instagram was in June, so I'm gonna guess that yeah, they're probably gonna be coming back at some point. But
Okay, well,
we'll
we'll
see.
see.
Well, I might not see. You're more likely to see than me. But
Yeah, that's true.
um, right. Where? Shit. Where were we?
I
Oh,
told you
flowing,
about that.
flowing, flowing.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, that was something that was interesting. Like when stepping into Cosmic Kitten, it was easy to just get right into it, you know? And I think that's one of the things that made that makes Cosmic Kitten work so well is that, the in the way that the bassist affords them to breathe,
Mm-hmm.
they afford the bassist to breathe when they the bassist first arrives, you know?
Symbiosis.
Yeah. And where something where you have like two guitars or like something with a lot of staccatos, like stops or choppiness, whatever. Um, or like something very technical, like if you have something like Rush, there's not much room to breathe. Um, a lot of that like prog rock type stuff can be tough because like it has to be pretty worked out beforehand what you're doing. Um, and everyone has to kind of be doing either the same thing or something that very, very, very well complements what the others are doing. Um, and so with Cosmic Kitten, it was nice because I got to just jump in there and be like, do it. And it worked well for them. They were stoked because like I came in and brought that energy that they hadn't really had before, like into it. Like I brought in a punk rock energy with like punk rock franticness without, you know, having to like lose everything. Admittedly, sometimes I would, you know, like fudge notes or skip notes or, you know, whatever. But, you know, part of it was bringing the energy which helped them bring more energy.
Yeah,
And
I remember the kicks, the Dylan kicks.
yes,
Always looking forward to them. I was just like,
yeah, the
oh,
horse
he's doing
stuff.
the kicks. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Zach used to call them the knee breakers.
The knee breakers.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Oh.
Was he worried that you're gonna like break someone's knee in the audience or Karen's? Zach's pretty
Um,
protected.
he was worried I was gonna break my own. Um,
Oh fuck. Okay, that's fair.
yeah, fair, but my knees are doing fine.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
still do the?
I
Do
was
you still
actually,
do the knee breakers when you perform?
um, sometimes yes. So yeah, yes, sometimes I do.
Is that
I
like a
think
bass
I'm
thing
not
or?
necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I'll do it on guitar sometimes too. With bass, it was nice. It was pretty simple because there was a lot of times like when for someone something like My Shoes,
Yeah.
you just do a lot of hitting the same note,
Mm.
uh, which is great because I don't need to know where I'm going to next. I just know like it's that note. The next like 70 times is gonna be
Yeah.
that note,
Nice.
and then maybe it'll be the octave of like do 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 do, and that's
Mm.
you know, and then back to that note again.
Nice.
And so with songs like that, I could really just like nail in on rocking out, and Zach and I could like just really focus on the rocking out, while Karen could focus on just really vibing it out and saying what they had to say, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
And that was like, that I felt like was the groove of it when, like, you know, we would support each other, and Zach and I would really hold it down hard for Karen to just say what they had to say, you know?
Yep.
And that is when I think we worked at our best. Um, and it's hard to say which show we did the best, or were like which show we were like doing that the best, because we got pretty good at doing that at every show.
Mm.
We were at one point we were playing like 3 shows a week, like not when we were on tour, when
Sure.
we were home.
Yeah.
So it's like um which was a wild period, but that was also like what it really took to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Makes
because I
sense.
was also, yeah, I was working at the studio at the time, and then sometimes like doing construction, and and then having to go like drive to like an hour to play some show. I don't know how well you know. I don't know how well you know LA geography. Um,
Hit me.
okay, so I was at the studio in Woodland Hills.
You already
Um,
lost me. I don't know where that is. Sorry. Never mind.
okay.
Thought I could really do it, folks. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Woodland Hills. Where's that near? Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. If you tell me a neighboring city, surely I'll know the neighboring city. I'm not going to
Okay.
get two cities wrong.
Do you know where the San Fernando Valley is?
Good night, everyone. We
Okay,
gotta end
cool.
this quick. No. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't actually know.
Okay, I'll give you a quick little geography lesson. Maybe like in post you could add in superimpose some maps. But
Sure.
there's there's like the San Fernando Valley. Let's here I'll go even simpler. There's Hollywood.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone kind of knows where Hollywood is.
Yep.
So there's Hollywood, and then southeast of Hollywood there's downtown. Below Holly, like south of Hollywood is where basically most of LA proper is. Like, and then if you go south further, it's eventually where Downey is.
Okay.
Downey's on the south side of LA.
Yeah, that I knew it. That I knew for sure. Thankfully.
So north of Hollywood, if you go over the hills, you have the San Fernando Valley, which a lot of it is still technically Los Angeles. But it's where like it's where like if right when you go over the hill, it's where like Warner Brothers is. It's where Toluca Lake and Burbank and North Hollywood, a lot of that is.
Okay, I've been around there. Yeah. So I've been to the
And
airport. So Bob Hope.
yeah, exactly. And then that's also where like Disney is. And
Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon's also there.
Nice. Still, or
Yeah.
is that buildings? Oh yeah, 'cause they. Oh no, they just got rid of the sign or something, right? Or did they paint over it? They did something to the. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with Cosmic
I
Kitten. God damn it. Yeah. So
I I don't know. I'm now curious, and I'm probably gonna check that out tomorrow. So I'll let you know.
yeah, I saw something on that. That's why I was trying to remember what exactly it was. But Anaheim.
Yeah.
No. What were we saying? San Fernando Valley.
But San Fernando. So like north of like Hollywood, like when you go past into the hills, there's like you dump into the southeastern corner of San Fernando Valley from Hollywood. Woodland Hill, Pasadena, I'll say, is east of the San Fernando Valley, like a couple cities east of Burbank. So it's northeast of downtown LA. Um, when you look at a map, you'll see all this. But um, so so yeah, Burbank is kind of the start of. Some people will disagree with me, and that's fine. You could say North Hollywood is the start of the San Fernando Valley, the eastern side of the San Fernando Valley,
Right. Right.
uh, specifically southeastern. Um, Woodland Hills is the very furthest west edge of the San Fernando Valley.
Oof.
Oof,
That's a bit
indeed.
of a distance.
It was a distance. Like to give you a little bit more context, it's like there's Woodland Hills, and then if you go further, you hit like Calabasas and Hidden Hills, which is where like the Kardashians live, where a bunch of famous people live.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when they live there specifically to be away from everything.
Right. I see. I see. That.
But
So
it,
essentially the middle of nowhere, celebrity style.
yeah, and it's like it's not like nowhere. It's like kind of suburban and kind of upper middle class. Um, but it's also where there happens to be a lot of recording studios and mixing studios and producers, private studios, like a lot of recording and mixing and post production happens there.
Mm.
And that happened to also be a studio where a studio where I worked at was. And that was the guy. Yeah, the guy I was working for was a guy named Lior Goldenberg, who I'm still in touch with. We're still homies, but he um he like has a whole like a super long list of credits, and like it was kind of like a joke because like I would be working there and he'd be like, yeah, that one time I worked with Ringo Starr. Oh, anyways, and just move on. Like, wait, no, I want to hear more about this Ringo
Yeah,
Starr
no,
thing.
no, you're not gonna be dropping Ringo, like name dropping Ringo Starr, and then just go anyways. Anyways, nothing. Tell me about Ringo Starr,
Yeah,
goddammit.
yeah, no, but like that would happen all the time. Like there'd be there's like this kind of obscure, like odd painting on the wall in the control room. I was like, oh, what's the deal with that? He's like, oh yeah, that's a self-portrait Ringo Starr did for me when we worked on a record. Anyway, so what's you know, at like 1 p.m. the guys are coming in. I'm like, wait.
He's steady trolling. He's steady trolling.
Yeah, and then there'd be like
That's
this other thing of like, I'm like, oh yeah, this rug is really cool. He's like, oh yeah, that came from when I was working on this Alanis Morissette album. Oh, I'm like, wait, hold on, which album?
man.
And which
Awesome.
now I actually that's a funny story about that. I have two of those five Alanis Morissette rugs.
Oh, what the fuck? That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Is
because he had one of them in his live room, I think
yeah.
one in his control room, and then one as a backup. And he's just like, I've got two extra. I really don't need them. So now I have them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would imagine that backup rugs are probably not a hot commodity, so to your benefit.
yes. So, but it worked out. It worked out for me because they turned out to be useful for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. And
Now you
so,
can tell
like,
people that it's a Lennis Morissette rug
and then
anyway.
exactly, which I've done before, and it's kind of
Oh
fun
fuck
doing.
yeah.
It's
Nice,
yeah, just like yeah, this was used on the last Sports album. Anyway, so blah blah blah.
nice. I'll
And
tell you later. I'll tell you later.
what's funny is like no one really stops me. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Okay. All right.
But
One
um,
day someone will. One day someone will.
one
And then
day,
then you'll have to do the spiel.
yeah, and like one thing that like one very cool credit he has that got me excited because I grew up listening to this particular artist.
Yeah.
Um, as did Karen, I believe. But um, he worked on Lior worked on Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson.
Oh wow. Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That,
Karen used to be hella into Marilyn Manson back in the day for sure.
yeah. Yeah. So um, but yeah. So that was like the that was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. And that was like the first thing I knew about him. So I went and worked for him. Um,
Fuck, why not? Worked out.
yeah. Yeah, it
Got
worked out.
got a rug out of it as well.
I did. I got actually, I'll tell you, I also got the roll of 2-inch tape that we used to record You Gotta Understand. One of the
Oh,
two rolls I got from him for free.
what? That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
that,
another. That's another thing to put a pin on, but I've already put a pin on it for you. Um,
okay,
uh,
cool.
but sorry, yes, but go ahead.
So I was having to drive, like when we were doing like 3 shows a week, I was having to drive from Pasadena
Yeah,
to Woodland Hills, which was like an hour-long drive sometimes with because there's traffic. Without traffic, I could do it if I was like just gunning it
yeah.
for uh in like 35 minutes. But if I wasn't, if there's traffic, if I was just driving normal, um um if I was just driving normal, it was like a hour-long drive or a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'd have to drive from there to San Bernardino, which is hold on one sec.
Sure, sure.
Um
All right.
so yeah, I'd have to drive from like there to like San Bernardino, which was like an hour east of Pasadena already. And then would have to like drive home at like midnight after show was done. I'd already talked to everyone, was drenched in sweat, and no, you know, it was really exciting life, and it was fun, but it was a lot, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, and then at the time, like it's the girlfriend I had at the time wasn't super fond of that schedule.
No, I could see how that could negatively affect another person, especially an SO.
Yeah, and so yeah, that relationship did not work out.
Yeah, well, no, I suppose not.
Yeah, but that's all right. It's the one I'm in now is healthy and we're happy, so
Good,
yeah.
good, good.
Um yeah, and so um and it's but yeah, so that was like yeah, because sometimes like I'd be at the studio at like 10 in the morning and then be at the show at like 7 p.m., then be home by like midnight. Um but yeah. So but it was also it it was that was just kind of the lifestyle we signed up for, and we kind of knew we were signing up for that lifestyle. So
Yeah,
it wasn't a huge shock or surprise for any of us when that's what we were doing.
yeah, yeah. No, cannot be.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I don't remember why we were talking about that.
Show. I think we're still on the favorite show type
Favorite
dealing. So
show.
I believe that we're senile, Dylan. We're senile.
We are.
Um,
I wish
I've
we could
started
like
taking
get back.
ginkgo biloba, and that's not helping.
Oh wait, okay. I have okay, so we're on that show. I told you about the first show with them, which was
Yes.
great.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I want to like highlight a few other shows because it's hard to nail down the one, but
Sure.
there were some standouts.
Okay.
Um, so there was so well let's talk about the West Coast tour because there was a
Okay.
couple shows on that were just like really kind of I feel like gave us the vibe, you know. Hold on one second. My roommate might be coming back. Drop off key.
Okay. Okay.
Mila also didn't want to be stuck in here with me.
Sorry, Mila. What?
Mila wanted to be outside the room. We're in my
Uh.
bedroom at the moment.
Okay. They were like, I'm out of here. I'm me out of here. Let me out of
Me
here.
out of here.
Let me out of here.
So yeah, sorry for the interruptions.
No, no, quite all right. Quite all
So
right.
let's let's talk about the shows. The tour. Initially, actually, at this point, I was just still filling in for them and playing like Silent X shows and tracking with Silent X and whatnot as well during all this period.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so just to add like and like yeah, it was a really busy time for me at the time. Um, but um, which you know also added strain to the relationship. Which
Yeah, I can imagine.
again, if that like that was indicative that it wasn't going to work out because that's kind of just the lifestyle I tend to keep.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So nowadays I try to like have a just a little bit of relaxing time, but there's only so much one can afford.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So, um, but so we were initially we were supposed to have um Oh, how am I forgetting his name? Happy and Hemet. Um,
Hush?
we did the Hush. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're supposed to have Hush. I haven't seen him for a few years now, quite a few, but we're supposed to have Hush on tour with us,
Oh, fuck. Okay.
and he was supposed to actually play the tour, um, but he ended up not being able to make it. Um, so I did the tour.
Oh, okay, okay. I see, I see, I see.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, and I think Hush had actually done a few shows on bass with them. Uh, but Hush was also he also had Happy and Hemet as well.
Yeah.
And I think they're still playing shows.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, okay, cool. I thought I saw their names on flyers. I haven't gone out to see them um, quite a while, but
They just had a
um,
show with Cosmic Kitten not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
nice.
So, so you went on the West Coast tour
Hmm.
instead and played shows in California, Oregon, Washington State,
Yeah,
which is well, that's the West Coast. So, but
it's
not goddamn British Columbia. We're on the
I
West
know
Coast tour, damn it.
I know it's we were pretty close to the BC too. We went all the way to Bellingham.
Oh I know. Oh I know.
Yeah, that well, you were there for the Bellingham fiasco, right?
I was supposed to go to the Bellingham show, but then they
Uh,
switched the days. So Bellingham was supposed to be on Monday, then it was switched to Tuesday. So I went to the Seattle Monday show.
okay, cool. Yeah, and I remember you at the that was the Fun House, right?
That's right.
Right. Which
That's right.
at the Fun House, I'm glad we got because that's the Fun House is a little trivia that so the West Coast Lobotomized live album was a compilation of 3 shows.
Yep.
What we were doing is basically every show we'd record it um, to put to see what we'd put on the album.
Yeah.
In some shows, the qualities was good, in others, the qualities was very, very, very not good. And it was just like we had some, we recorded. I think we recorded every single show, and just not all of it worked. Um, but a few shows, few stops we made, um, it worked. And the Funhouse was one of those stops.
Thankful for that.
Yeah, and the I specifically remember our rendition of Phillips. Our that time of playing it was the one that appeared on the album, the live album.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that because that one was actually I was really stoked about that time we played it because I feel like we kind of nailed it there. Plus, like the house had some sort of weird delay effect on Karen's vocals, um, and so there was it was a normal effect, but there's one point where it did a weird jittery thing, and it
Yeah, I think
sounded
I
so
remember.
cool.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah,
Something happening an unusual occurrence.
yeah, and that is just like that coupled with like the fact of us playing it and us like playing it well,
Mm.
um, was really nice, and I was happy about that, and I think we like that. I'm glad that particular song got captured from that particular show.
That's awesome.
So, but um, there was another show, the Woodland Park Zoo, I think it was.
Yeah. With an X. I remember that's what you said
with,
in the live thing. Woodland Zoo
with an
with an
X.
X. Yes.
Yes, with an X, because it's that confused me at first. Um, and I still don't totally understand where it is on the map. Um,
Oh, that's that weird. Like it's almost like
it's
it doesn't exist sort of thing.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I think it might have been a like a sorority or fraternity or a some sort of itty.
Some sort of idiot.
Mhm. But
It was a zoo.
it was it was a zoo. It was packed and it was um it was a lot of fun. And um
Hold on,
I
Zach.
was
Hold on, Dylan. My brain just shut
uh,
down and I called you Zach, but I know for a fact you're Dylan. I just realized something. I have to say it.
yeah,
Woodland Zoo with an
yes.
X, okay? Woodland Zoo with an
Mhm.
X, right? Do you know why
Yeah.
it's still spelled zoo even though it's with an X?
Why?
Because it's a silent X. Don't block me. Anyway,
Damn. Damn.
let's. So I had to. I had no choice. None. I'm out of control, Dylan. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
That that was
Zoo with an
pretty
X.
great.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so wow, that was great. So yes, so that show was awesome, and we just tore apart the stage somehow. I don't even remember exactly how that went, but that was a that was like just an awesome show. We just nailed it vibe wise, and like it was like the right vibe for us, you know? We were great at those house shows.
Mm.
Because it's we were very interactive and we brought that punk energy. Like we had Zach's like, you know, from behind the kit, he still could, you know, you could tell he was there in that moment, and he was still like talking to everyone in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Karen and I on the front lines, literally talking to everyone in that room. Like mid song, mid set, we were like in there, part of the, you know, it was a very interactive show, and we were giving them that interactive show. It's like,
That's awesome.
you know, have you ever seen Rocky Horror Picture Show in Santa Monica, like the live showing?
I've never live no. Never
Okay.
live no.
Um, it's a wild experience. It's next time you come out here, you should see about doing it.
Oh yeah, I'll see. That's in
But
March, so we'll see if there's anything available.
yeah, that's I also went in March because I went for my birthday.
Oh fuck. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the possibility is there, exists.
Yeah, I think it happens every weekend.
Oh fuck. Okay, okay. So it's not. Okay. Good to
Yeah.
know. I will
Yeah.
be. I will be there on a couple weekends, so to figure that out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it was kind of like that, and where we would be interacting. I mean, I guess you don't doesn't mean much to you right now, but maybe whoever watching this will be like, "Oh yeah, like that." And that's kind of
Okay.
what like the house shows are like. It's like we were interactive on the same level as they were. And I feel like messaging wise, that was kind of important for us
Yeah.
because we were saying you can do this too. And that's kind of that was the thing we wanted to get across, you know, is that you can do what we're doing. You it doesn't take that much to be special like us, and you know, that was kind of what we wanted to view in people is that like it doesn't take anything extraordinary except for trusting your own vision or deciding to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Um.
that
Yeah.
I feel like it's the spirit of Cosmic Kitten. Maybe they could be like, maybe I could be like totally full shit and they could come and be like, no, the spirit of Cosmic Kitten is obviously, you know,
Money.
money.
Well.
But
Well. I think you're. I think you're pretty bang on, honestly.
Yeah, and that's I think the thing that's the thing I gravitate towards. That's the thing like I think everyone else gravitates towards is that like it's not just about us, you know. It's like there used to be these army commercials when I was a kid.
Oh
Like
yeah, Army of
it's
One or
it
something.
you're like be more than you could be, or like it's
Oh, be all
there.
that
There's
you can be. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
be all that you can be, and then there'd be some like interviews. I might be mixing a few different commercials together, but there'd be interviews that, like with some guys from whatever service it was for, and they'd be like, you know, it's about being part of something bigger than yourself. And when I was a kid, I was like, that sounds so stupid.
Something bigger than
And I was
yourself.
like,
Well, yeah, but if it's a grown up
but
telling you this, then you just already want to tell them full of shit. So.
exactly. And then on top of that is like the whole military industrial complex, and I'm like, and it's like there's a lot to unpack there. That's like, you know, I won't get too, heavy into that. But point being is like, I did not get it. And, with something like Cosmic Kitten, when it's like being part of something bigger actually means something that supersedes, like I was saying, supersedes logic in its worst manifestation. Something that's like part of something bigger that's actually warm, not just a cold clinical big machine that crushes souls.
Exactly.
Uh, that is, we were actually providing something bigger for people to be a part of, and
Yep.
that was an important, exciting thing. Um,
You guys killed
so
people, but you killed them with your amazing musical talent. But no one had to actually die, so it's already better.
exactly. So that's like that. I felt was the spirit of Cosmic Kitten. It's that you too can do it. You don't need to be like a crazy prog rocker to pull it off. But also, you totally could be a crazy prog rocker. You know?
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm hoping. I feel like some of that did come through to people, and there are people that got that point. But I'm hoping like that's what I'm hoping people could take away from my time in Cosmic Kitten is that they can do what I did, so long as they just decide to do it.
And not do it half-assed.
Yeah,
Use your whole
exactly.
ass.
The whole ass.
Whole ass.
Yeah. So,
So, that was their first ever tour, the West Coast tour.
yeah.
Basically, you guys, I think you went California, Oregon, Washington State, Oregon some more, and then California, or did you go from Washington State straight to California? That I can't recall offhand.
I
I don't know if
think
there was another show in afterwards.
I think we went straight from Olympia, which
Oh, that's
for
right.
that is an interesting town. I don't know if you've ever been.
No, just primarily Seattle, a little bit of Bellingham. That's it.
Yeah, it's an interesting town. I'll leave it at that. So we went from Olympia. There's Zach and I had an interesting experience, we'll say, in Olympia,
Oh.
with like a guy trying to like take me home, and just there's a whole thing.
Shit. All right, damn. We may have
Yeah,
never seen you again if you had acquiesced.
yeah. So
I'd be
yeah,
interviewing you with the Ouija board.
yes, exactly. If only because like, from ODing on like meth or something. Um, it's wild
God
and
damn.
yeah, the whole I could tell stories from the tour.
Oh, I
But
bet.
yeah. So we went from Olympia to we stopped I think we stopped in Portland just to stay overnight and hang out with some homies. But
Hmm.
I think that was it. There wasn't another show in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, I think I'm almost certain you're right.
So I think we went straight to California, or was there something in like shit, what's that town? Bend? Um
Bend, Oregon. I thought it was just
or
only Portland you guys did, but I could be wrong. Wait a minute.
it
Why don't I
might have
just?
been. It'll
Where's that fucking poster? Hold on a sec. Keep talking. Keep talking.
all right.
I got the poster right here.
There was also some shows that like were on the books that got canceled or rescheduled or shifted around or whatever. Um, so I think the other Oregon show might have been that. Um,
Well, I guess I don't have that poster, or maybe there wasn't a tour poster, or oh, you know what? I think the initial tour didn't
oh,
either didn't have a poster with like the dates on it, and it just was like,
Lobotomized live, like that type of thing, or
did you just say lobotomized live in an automat in a robotic voice?
kind of. It wasn't super robotic. It was lobotomized live, but it might have.
Jesus, that didn't even sound like you. I was fucking. I thought I was. I thought my YouTube, because I remember I saying I'm playing music very quietly. I thought some it like did something. Wow, Dylan, you just blew my mind. Okay, okay, but I'm recalibrated now. Okay, so we
Okay.
don't know, but I'm really feel that there wasn't anything after like the last few shows you did in Washington. I think it was just straight. I don't know. Was it Silver Lake Lounge?
That was the beginning of the
That
tour.
was the beginning. Okay, I knew it was there. I knew it was there,
Yeah,
but
and then we had a hometown show, but I don't remember where the hometown show was.
oh, fuck. Was it Alex's bar?
I don't
Cosmic
think so.
Kitten West Coast Tour. Hey, here we go. I found the dates right now. All the dates on our West Coast tour are. Are you joking? Oh, disclosed pretty soon. Why the fuck? Why did it do that to me?
Nice.
Well, West Coast Live. There's stuff from Silver Lake Lounge, Mord House, and Fun House.
Yeah.
But beyond that, stop playing, stop making sound. Um, sorry, my phone was being weird.
That's all right.
This is okay. I give up. Anyway, so we'll figure it out later, folks. We'll figure it out
Yeah.
later. In the meantime, uh, go on.
Okay, um, so the Mord House was actually, um, I remember really liking that show. Also the guy whose place that was, Alex was super cool.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and we're actually supposed to set up another tour with him at some point with him and his band, but we didn't end up doing that. Um, and so, um, but yeah, so we were there, and um, I think he was who we visited with in Portland on the way down. But we went went to somewhere in California. I want to say something like Silverado or something, something that like some place I'd never been before. That wasn't like a that wasn't a place I really thought about. But we went there and we did that, and then we went to somewhere in Lancaster, which isn't actually super far from LA,
Hmm.
but yeah, we went there, and then we went. I think we went home after that. Maybe we didn't have a hometown show.
I
Uh,
swear you guys did, but maybe it was in Downey. Maybe it was at the. Oh, wasn't it at Epic?
oh, Epic Lounge.
Yeah, wasn't it there? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I
I'm
think.
remembering. I think I'm thinking why I didn't feel like we had a hometown show is because I actually got to go home
Oh,
before, and
right,
so
right.
it felt like the tour was over, but
Yeah,
it wasn't because I was home. Like, or it's
yeah.
like we hadn't done the hometown show, so
Hmm.
technically I was on tour, but I was in my own bed.
That must have been
Um,
damn nice.
it was nice, yeah. So it's yeah, that feeling of coming home from tour is it's really nice. It's um like something there's something that I know a lot of the guys like this is something that would happen with the Silent X guys and it would happen with the Unwritten Law guys is the post-tour depression. And I've had a bunch of other friends who also would run into this.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever came home from any sort of like tour thing, I ran into that. Or maybe the second time. It's like towards the beginning of my like touring experiences. And um I um I got home. It was with Silent X. I got home and we had come back from like Phoenix or I think that's where we came back from. And I didn't have anything scheduled because I was like, oh, I want a couple days to recuperate. We were going like pretty like the way I play shows, I need some, recovery time.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and so I went and recovered, and it was just like I felt like I was like it's like floating through a void in space or something. It's just like everything was meaningless, and it was just like whoa, what? Like I was just like wow, and it's like everything seemed off kilter. It's like when you're on a like if you're I don't know if you've ever been on a boat for a long period of time, but it's like
Maybe a couple hours, something along those.
okay, did you experience it when you got back onto land and then you're like, I'm not moving and this feels weird?
Yeah, I kind of generally, I have a general feeling like it's like you're still moving, but you're not, sort of deal.
Yeah, and it like feels kind of wrong, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels fucked.
that that's what it felt like when I got home. That like time I was talking about. And I was like, huh. I was like, this is just so strange. Like I've been at home by myself before without a problem. Why is this any different? So, um, so yeah, it's like and like a lot of a lot of my guys and a lot of my friends were like, oh, post-tour depression and blah, blah, blah. So I ran some experiments, and this tour was actually where I ran this experiment. I ran a few experiments on this particular tour because I was also trying to figure out like there's things like eating habits and whatnot. Like I was really trying to avoid burnout, which is
Mm,
also a common tour issue.
yeah.
Um, and so I was trying to deal with some of this stuff, and um, so one of the ways one of the things I did was um, experimented with my diet. And the entirety of the tour, I would only eat twice a day, regardless of the fact that I was expending so much energy on these shows. And I think first time would be at like 9 a.m., second time 6 p.m., and like, or, midnight, something like that.
Jesus. Okay.
And I was only having to, and I would have snacks in between because we had like a bunch of snacks in the car.
Yeah.
Um, but not full meals. And because of what I was eating and how consistently I was just eating that, I didn't need much more. So, um, and so I was just like boiling down my diet to like, as like I needed like some protein, I needed some like vegetables, fruits, um, and would focus on having that. And then I didn't, I focused on the quality of food instead of the quantity, and it panned out better for me. So even if I was like doing something like eating at McDonald's, I would get the like thing that had the most of what I already knew I needed and had the least of what I knew I didn't need or didn't want. Um, so I ran that experiment and that helped quite a bit. Like,
Okay.
I didn't need to spend as much money on food. I didn't need to eat as much. I wasn't as like weighed down, and I wasn't, regardless of the fact that we were sleeping like 5 nights, 5 hours a night, a lot of the nights, I wasn't really that tired. So,
And
um,
consuming less junk overall, basically.
exactly.
Mm. Fuck.
And yeah, and that worked out well. Um, and then another thing, I was like, okay, so this post-tour depression thing, the way it was working for me, it was this kind of coming off the boat thing or
Mm.
getting off a plane after 17 hours, you know?
Right. Fuck.
And so if I keep moving, like schedule things to happen as soon as I'm back, and I don't try to just like sit and like stop moving. And kind of like with the runner, here's a better example. With the runner, they do warm ups and then they do cool downs after running.
Yeah.
So, um, I would do tour cool downs, like set up some work, some appointments, some like going some party, even like doing things so that I kept moving around LA and then eventually slowed down and came back home and took time off at home after, you know, I'd stopped after, just doing less and less and just taking it on a more gradient approach. And that worked.
That's good.
So
That's
I
a
don't,
pretty important piece of advice for other touring musicians, particularly, or just very, musicians that have must do 57 shows a week. It's probably something to take heed to, or at least give it a try.
yeah. And so, yeah, and that, I don't know if it would work out for everyone, but it worked out for me.
Yeah.
And that, after that, that was also um, what I did with, when we went to Australia. Um, that's what I did to get over that hump of being back in LA after not being in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it helped quite a bit. I still had to fight the jet lag a little bit, but
Oh well, that's
like,
always.
yeah, that's it was like a 15-hour flight or something.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
yeah, so, and then it's like I left to come back to LA. I left like Sydney Monday morning
Hmm.
and came back to LA Monday morning.
Oh, that would fuck me up so bad. It'd be like, what
It
the fuck? Why am I so tired? It's still the morning.
Yeah, it was
Shit.
wild. And I went to go like get food, and like I was getting tacos, and then by this point I got home. It was noon. I was like, okay, cool. I'll get some tacos, and I was at the taco place, and I was like,
Oh my god, yeah. Fuck, I just fucking bet. Oh my god. Just like,
yeah,
just hit you hard.
yeah. So it was just like pretty hardcore. It was just like basically I'd been up for 24 hours straight plus. Or that I don't know. The math on it was really confusing, but because I think there's like 15 hours ahead of us, and like maybe I left 8 a.m. and came back, or like left 10 a.m. and then came back at 8 a.m. But then it's point being a lot,
Yeah.
and um, but then I came home for the rest of that particular day, went to bed because it was just like, there's nothing I'm gonna do today.
No.
I think I think I skipped out on a party or something, and then the next day I was scheduled for a recording session. Um, so I got up to go to the recording session, um, and then that recording session got pushed back by a day. So then instead I did other things and ran around LA getting used to like taking care of like errands and whatnot. Then that next day I did that recording session in Woodland Hills. Um,
Mmm. God damn it.
so I did, and then that I kind of started getting back into a regular rhythm. Then it was easier to like take the weekend off and everything was cool. So
Yeah. It seems like it'll last an eternity, but it's only usually a few days.
yeah, exactly. And so that's what I found worked for me. Um, and um, so yeah, so yeah, that Mord House show, because we're still on the question of the favorite shows.
Yes, sir. We are. We are.
Yeah, holy hot damn. So that Mord House show was cool. That Woodland Park show was really cool, and I also did like that um Funland Fun House show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I feel like that the zoo was like more my vibe. So
More
that
intimate.
yeah, and then another really cool intimate moment that we had in Seattle. We were staying at this Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
and um and we had a photographer videographer guy on tour with us, Hernan,
Yeah.
and we like I don't know whose idea it was, but someone came up with the idea for Karen to do like an acoustic song in the backyard. So
Oh,
yeah, and
yeah.
so
Fuck.
we were like, okay, cool, yeah. And then Zach's like, oh, I guess we should do Shine. And Karen's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And that's the song I kind of connected to the least on Be Nice to Strangers because I just didn't really get it
Right.
until I watched Karen perform it right then and there, which there's a video of somewhere.
Yes, there
Um,
is.
have you seen that video?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been a while, but I have. Oh yeah, for sure. But it was it outside the Airbnb in Seattle?
Yeah.
But it was not the but it was not the day that I uh, came to see you guys. I think it was the day before or earlier that day. I that no, because earlier that day I
Probably,
was.
it probably was. There was two places we stayed at in Seattle. One
Oh
was it?
fuck. Okay.
Oh, whoa, there
Whoa! What the
balloons.
fuck?
Did
Yeah,
you
I
see
don't.
that?
Yes, I did. I don't. Did you say something weird? Like what? 2
Balloons?
balloons?
2? 3?
In Seattle?
Okay.
Seattle balloon.
Seattle. Airbnbs? Okay, no. So,
What the fuck?
yeah, there were 2 Airbnbs we stayed at in Seattle.
Yeah.
One was like in a more residential neighborhood that I totally forget. And then the other was more in like downtown Seattle, like by closer to the fun house.
Okay. Got it. So
So-
was that the first one?
It was at the first one, the one that had a like backyard, because the other one was like an apartment on like an upper level, and it's like it's kind of like a cool loft downtown vibe.
Oh, no, that was the one that I had seen, because I remember
think-
that one had like a backyard and there was like I think hummingbirds and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Shit.
So yeah, that I was like standing on the sideline watching them film it, and like Hernan was like, manning the camera, and I think Zach was also going from a different angle, and they put the footage together or something. And I was just there watching it,
Yeah.
And it was in that performance that I actually understood that song and understood what it meant, and what Karen meant by that, what they were trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was just such a beautiful moment. And that moment, technically I wasn't performing, but that was a moment that was very, I think, that was a moment where that was a really unique highlight moment for me, for Cosmic Kitten.
Well, it seems like it. Well, yeah, because it was really seen live by 4 people. Seen online by many more, but only 4 people got to fully experience it. It was like a concert for 3 people, basically, sort of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and even then, like 2 of them were working it, so really it was a concert for 1 person, and it was me.
Yeah, fuck, man. I would be honored as shit.
Yeah, and it was like pretty special to get to see that so intimately,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a really cool moment. That was special to me.
I would say that's an absolutely, like, we can count that as your favorite show you've seen, just because you saw it, someone played a song, people play songs at shows, there was an audience.
Yeah.
No wrong answers on this show, Dylan. Absolutely none. Unless you said your favorite Cosmic Kitten show is when they performed with Nickelback, in which case that's wrong on every single fathomable level.
You mean because like it literally didn't happen, and if it did happen, it'd be wrong?
Yes. Well, it would be right. Actually, no, it would be right, because it would just blow. It would blow Nickelback completely out of the water.
Talk as much shit as you want. I've heard they actually put on a really good show.
I'm sure they do.
I've never seen them live, so I can't corroborate, but that's what I've heard.
I'm allowed to criticize them because they're from here, though some people will say they're from Alberta. Some people say they're from BC. Some people will say it not proudly, but like, no, they're from Alberta. No, they're from BC. So,
no, someone's got to claim them.
Well, we don't. Unless it's financially beneficial for me to answer, otherwise I simply cannot. So, Dylan, we have taken the scenic route to get to what was a very sweet and answer, and definitely well worth. It was a scenic route for a reason.
Yes, and
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I am very good at that, and I tend to take the scenic route conversationally.
Yeah, I've seen you and Zach talk, so yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get a shorter answer with this one, I suspect, because Dylan, what's your favorite Cosmic Kitten album?
You know, that's I don't know that you're gonna get a shorter answer.
Oh well, fuck, hit me, man.
Okay, so specifically album. I mean,
Yeah.
um, this one is really hard because each one is particularly special, particularly to me, and I'll walk you through each one
I'll
quick.
pause. I'll pause you real quick. When you get
Uh,
to, you gotta understand. Give me one, two, three, four, five questions, and we will get to. We're gonna have to expunge, expound on that.
expound on. Okay.
So, yeah. So with that one, just give me a bullet point, and then move on.
Oh, okay, cool. So with um like with um Apollo was really interesting because it's pretty folky. Like we touched upon before,
Yep.
it was not very heavy. Um and you know that's the song I connected with on that was Weather. Um and you know, I feel like it's a shame that that album's not available at the moment, even if only for Weather, you know. And like, there's there's like some cool stuff on that album for sure.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's I don't know. I've talked to Zach before about like doing some re-recording and re-releasing because I think part of the
That's
issue is
fucking, you read my mind. That's what I've been saying. I told them, why don't you at least consider just doing it from scratch? Make, like, jack it up like they did with what's the song on I'm drawing a blank, Dylan. It's
oh
on You
yeah,
Gotta Understand.
all that you do to me.
Yes, because
Yeah, with
because I'd heard the original, which is very different from what it the majority of people wound up seeing.
it is, and I can tell you a story specific to that song when we get there. I don't know if
Okay,
you want to wait till we get to that the album,
we're really
but
close to there, so yeah, let's just hold on and because we're almost there. We're almost there.
we're almost there. So
Yes.
yeah, we got like I've talked to Zach a couple times about re-recording some of the songs or the album, and it's like we've looked at it a couple times, and we've actually like at one point we were actually one thing we were actually doing between Lobotomy and You Gotta Understand is making a single with a B-side, which was gonna be All That You Do to Me, with the B-side of a re-recording of Weather. Uh, yeah, that was something we were like very like actually seriously contemplating, and I'd started drawing up some charts.
Yeah.
Like as an engineer, we are gonna like do it in house just because we
Sure.
could,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and for like two songs, it's easier to just like knock out a couple songs than for like a full length fucking album,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Um, so um, so yeah, we were looking at doing that, and at one point that was the plan.
Mm.
Um, but then plans changed, which you know I'll tell you more about when we get to. You got to understand.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, so yeah, that's Apollo. Um, and then on the heels of Apollo, Be Nice to Strangers was revolutionary. Was like it felt like something super brand new, revolutionary. Just like was just a whole thing, you know. And it was really special and really exciting. And you know, at the time I wasn't in Cosmic Kitten. I was in Silent X and playing with Silent X frequently. Um, and we were actually also getting some success at the time too. Um, so, but, but, so we were, yeah, Be Nice to Strangers, like, only Be Nice to Strangers I had heard was live in person at the shows when they were playing it.
Mm.
Particularly that first time, when the first time I ever got to see them play, which I think is also up there in my favorite Cosmic Kitten experiences, you know?
Nice. Okay.
And um but we were like, "Oh wow, like we need these songs. Like where is Harry Ape?" And like we were waiting for months for Harry Ape to come out. And then it at the time, as I mentioned, I was working in music journalism at the time,
Yeah.
and the podcast thing we were doing, we were interviewing people, and we actually almost got to interview um, one of the Misfit singers that was not Danzig, um,
Oh,
and
shit.
not Jerry, the
I
other
always,
guy.
I, I don't think Jerry Only's not even a singer, is he?
He
I think
was
I
at
just.
one point,
Oh, he was. Okay, I
yeah,
thought he was. Never
but
mind. Fuck,
yeah,
man.
it wasn't him either. It was the other guy that people like even less. Um,
Oh shit. Okay.
not to take shots, but just
Sure, sure, sure. Of course.
But the person I was working with at the time, it was her favorite Misfit singer, so she
Oh.
had reached out to him. So we were gonna, and he was like, yeah, sure. So we were
Okay.
gonna interview him, but
Yeah.
we were doing. We had this thing where we would interview these bands, and then we'd also feature different local singles. Like at the time, that's how I got to meet Sad Park. Do you know them?
Sad Park sounds vaguely familiar. Could you just give a
They're
thumbs up and a bubble? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the weird things that are happening on your screen. I thought I would try to emulate it.
well,
Okay, sorry. Go on. This is
okay.
I'm being ridiculous. Go on.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, so there was like a Sad Park who was they were kind of they were a rock band, like kind of uh I guess kind of like doo-woppy, but like punk and indie. They're cool. I would check out their the song we featured of theirs, which was No Name. Um, and they're still touring to this day. They're doing pretty well for themselves. They've gotten featured on like some Spotify lists and stuff like that.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah, and Graham, the main guy, is really nice. Um, so, but so I got to meet them. Through that, we got to feature a bunch of stuff from them, and it, that was cool because we would feature all these songs, and then we reached out to Cosmic Kitten because they were friends, and we were also like Mark and I were like we really want to hear some fucking actual legit heavy Cosmic Kitten. And so the person I was kind of like working for at the time had gotten um they Cosmic Kitten had agreed to like let us exclusively share their song at like whatever precise time that worked for them marketing wise.
Okay.
Um, but she had to sign an NDA. Zach sent over an NDA for her to sign that like she wasn't just gonna like show it to everyone before release time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so it just was supposed to be featured on the show and that's it. And it was supposed to
Right.
be featured on the show not before whatever date.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so um like they sent it over and we were so excited to get to hear it. And then like she was like, I guess technically I can show you because you're an employee, like you're like part of LA Music Redux, the podcast we had.
Right.
And I was like, but goddamn, there better be some fucking perks to the job.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And so I got to hear Harry Ape for the first time in that recording, like in recording,
Yeah.
in that moment, just like randomly at home.
Holy
And
fuck.
that was like such an exciting moment. And me and Mark were both like, wow, this is
Mm,
so fucking cool. And we're so excited about it. And I couldn't even share it with Kieran or like Devin, the other Sound Next guys at the time,
nope.
because they didn't work for LA Music Redux,
That's right.
and we'd signed an NDA, or Kat had signed an NDA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, and so, and then the day the album actually hit, um, was also, it was a wild time for me. Sound X had all the stuff going on at the time, and
Mm,
basically I had just had to like like our singer had just left and I had to take over singing
mm,
for the show that was booked in San Francisco. Um, but I was also sick at the time, and
goody.
it was also like the other shows, because we were trying to book a tour, and the other shows had like fallen through, and we were like a lot of stuff was going wrong, and then um, Zach actually had offered to fill in for us because he had heard what was going on. And so Zach filled in on guitar for us, which is also part of why I was so eager to fill in on bass for him, because I was like
Mm.
returning the favor.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Fuck.
And so we went up to San Francisco. It was this crowded house show, and this, in spite of all that, we fucking nailed it. With the help of Zach, we just destroyed the whole venue. It's great. It was an awesome show. And then the way back, on the drive back, we drove back the next day,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when the day the album was released on Bandcamp. And so we listened to the whole thing in its entirety on the way from San Francisco down a couple times. I
That's
think
awesome.
3 times, and then we ran out of free listens.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Blew them all on Be Nice to Strangers.
yes. So, yeah, and then we're like, well, now we're gonna need to get the actual CD,
Oh, yeah, of
which
course.
we got. I think I got it a couple of times for various reasons, but yeah. So that album was special because of all that. Like, I was getting to be a fanboy, and you know, I was friends with the band and playing with the band. It was an exciting
Nice.
moment.
Got some exclusive listens.
Exactly. And
Lucky
there's like,
boys.
yeah, and it was like the community was communing. So, um,
Everyone was helping each other out, and so it's like back then, and then even like as we said in Cosmic Carnival 2, it's like everyone's coming
yeah,
to each other's rescues when they're needed most, sort of deal.
exactly. And that's kind of the important thing of it all, is like, we're all in this essentially for each other, not for ourselves.
Exactly.
And so now on to the next album, which was Lobotomy,
Before you
which,
continue, so just to like
uh,
chop two questions. So your favorite? Would you say that your favorite song off of Apollo would have been Weather?
yeah, yeah, I would say that.
And then
That's
on
it.
Be Nice to Strangers. Was it
It's
Shine?
ooh, uh,
Was it Shine?
um, I, w- I wouldn't say shine. No. I would say I don't know. It's tough. It used to be show me what you got.
Mm.
Uh, and sometimes still is. Um, Harry Ape. Like initially, it was Harry Ape because it's just Harry Ape.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Awesome.
great intro to Cosmic Kitten. Um, so if like someone who'd never listened to Cosmic Kitten before could only listen to one song and decide based on that one song whether or not to listen to more, it'd be Harry Ape. That's what they should start with.
Absolutely.
Um, and then so it's Harry Ape, then probably Show Me What You Got. Um, I really like Mundane Molly. Um, I think My Shoes was also great in that it kind of has a similar energy to Harry Ape, but it's just push, 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 you know? Like Harry Ape has ups and downs. Like it's
Yeah.
loud, quiet.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
My
okay,
Shoes,
okay.
it just trucks along and trucks along and trucks along and trucks along and trucks along. And you're
Yeah.
just grooving, and the next thing you know, song's done. Point's
Yep.
been made.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
So,
comparison.
uh,
So that's an interesting comparison.
yeah. And so I, it's really hard to say, but I would say, uh, yeah, it's really hard to say. I hope that helps though.
I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's hard to just say like, oh, I like this one. Oh, but I really like. Oh, but I. Ah, fuck. But I'm in the mood for
Yeah.
this one. But I'm not in the mood for that one. But tomorrow I'll be the mood for the one I'm not in the mood for. Yeah. So I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
So I think if it's like there's something that like show me what you got spoke to me for really closely for a very long time. So yeah, which will like put a pin in like take note of that because
Okay.
that
Yeah.
will come up later.
It will.
It will.
Show
Yeah.
me. Okay.
It's gonna come
Uh.
up and you gotta understand.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't wanna spoil how,
Okay. Okay.
uh,
Okay. Fair
but
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. Lobotomy, Dylan. We are on
Lobotomy.
lobotomy. Tell us about lobotomy.
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 Lobotomy was a funny one. Again, that was another one of those ones that's like everyone, because at this time, Cosmic Kitten was releasing an album a year.
Just about,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, like I think Lobotomy came out in May, and Be Nice to Strangers also came out in May the year before.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, yeah. That you're right. Fuck.
And so, um, but Lobotomy, it was kind of like people were excited about like what is Cosmic Kitten doing next, like
Mm-hmm.
Lobotomy, like
Yep.
that's the lead up into Lobotomy, like untitled third Cosmic Kitten album. What's it gonna be? What are they gonna do? Where are they gonna go? Are they gonna keep going with this cool crossover hybrid thing they're doing? Like, are they gonna go more folksy? Are they gonna go less folksy? Are they gonna go
All
like
screaming.
yeah, like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? Are they gonna like do the balance of like loud, quiet, loud? And
Yeah.
so the very I remember the first song. I think the first song I heard from that album
Yeah.
again was live,
Hmm.
and it was Pavement, and it was I think it was at the Doll Hut in Anaheim. It was at a show Silent X was playing in like January, I think it was, with them, and I heard it without bass because they didn't have basses at the time.
Oh yeah. Of course. Of course. Huh.
Yeah, and so then So then we had that, and then um, I I think another time they're doing a live stream a couple weeks later, and they're like playing this song, playing that song, and of course they played Harry Abe, they played some of the other standards, and they're like, we're gonna do a new one, um, and like I think it was an Instagram live feed thing,
Yep. They used to
and
do
so
those.
people, yeah, um, so people were asking about like, oh, song. They're like, this song is called Yellow Button, and they played Yellow Button. That was the first time I heard Yellow Button,
Mm,
and
that's
so
what a treat, man. Fuck.
yeah, and so it was like, yeah, it was exciting to hear that, and so watch what we were leading in with Yellow Button and um um Pavement, and so leading up to it, um I had started filling in for them while they were recording the album, like recording and mixing it.
Right, right.
And um, the Cosmic Kitten recording process is a very interesting one, which we'll get more into. We'll compare them
Very
once we
shortly,
get,
yeah.
yeah.
Very
But
shortly.